Hey guys, this is Corey, Dustin, and Kent from Recruiting, and we are your substitute hosts for this podcast. This is episode 81. We've got a great topic for you today, and odds are if you are leased to Oakley right now, then we are talking about you. On today's podcast, we wanted to answer the question, what makes a great truck driver, and, even more specifically for us, what makes a great owner-operator. So we'll hit on that and cover a few things here in just a minute. Before we get started, I just kind of wanted to say, thanks for listening to the podcast or watching the podcast. We try to bring some good content each and every week. And, always looking for good ideas or topics that you guys want to hear. If you're new to the podcast or just kind of stumbling upon it, appreciate you listening to us. And, be sure that you subscribe to us so, that you're updated each week for new episodes that come out each Wednesday. So, with that being said, before we get started on the show, let's get with Dustin on this week's Oakley Update, sponsored by Arrow Truck Sales.
All right, this week on the Oakley Update, we got a few things to go over. First one, this is usually the time of year we have a company party here at Oakley. Sorry we're not having one again this year. I know everybody's always looking forward to that, but hopefully next year we can. But what I want to mention to our owner operators, we do a year of service awards and safety awards. Both of those go off 5-year increments. So say you're here 5 years, you get something, 10 years, you get something, 15, so forth. One thing we do have in right now is the 5-year jackets. If you've been at Oakley for 5 years, leased on to Oakley for 5 years, you will get a jacket. And we do have them in. They're in the office here. You need to see Kim Stain for those. So if you're by the yard, come over and see Kim for your jacket. And basically what that means, if you're here 5 years, so say you leased on from January of 2016. If you leased on between January of 16 and December of 16, you should have a 5-year jacket. So if that's you, stop by the office and get your jacket. Next thing, I'm sure everybody's aware of, we are starting to swap over to a new LED system. Not getting much into that at this point, but we do want to make sure, just plan on getting through here sometime and get that done. We've got a certain time length that we need to do that, and, with your cooperation, we can get it done. We have a class Monday through Friday from one at 10 a.m. every day and one at 2 p.m. every day. So if you're through here, get with your dispatcher and let's see if we can get that done. And the third thing we'd like to do is a pretty cool story. One of our dispatchers shared with us, William Lewis. He had a guy one of our owner operators stopped by for the ELD class, and Jared Everett, he was walking up to the new office here and saw that William had a flat tire on his truck. So he mentioned to William that his tire was low, and William didn't know. And then Jared actually took the time out of his day to go out there, plug the tire for William, air it up. So we thought that was a pretty cool story. So good job, Jared. I know William appreciates that, and we appreciate sharing stories like that here at Oakley.
Absolutely.
But that's the Oakley Update. We'll talk to you next week.
Let's hear from our sponsor, Arrow Truck Sales. Go see Keith Wilson and Trey Visor at Arrow Truck Sales in Springfield, Missouri. Over the past 8 years, Arrow has built a great working relationship with Oakley Trucking. They specialize in getting new owner-operators approved for trucks and upgrading existing ones. Carrying a wide selection of all makes and models, they pride themselves with helping customers through every step of buying a used truck, including service after the sale. Listen to new Oakley owner-operator and Arrow customer Sean McMahon.
Yeah, it's my first time being an owner-operator, so it was first for me, and they made it real easy for me. I wound up getting a 2018 579 Peak with the Cummins 450 and a 13-speed. I worked hauling cars for 15 years, and I've been driving about 23 years. Yeah, I would send everybody I know to Mr. Keith over there at Arrow Truck Sales. I've had a really good experience with him, and first kind of guy.
When you go see Arrow Truck Sales in Springfield, Missouri, tell them you heard this ad on the Oakley Podcast, and they will give you half off your first payment when financing through transport funding. Give Keith Wilson and Trey Visor a call at 573-216-6047.
Getting back to this episode, what would you say are some good characteristics of a great truck driver that make up a great truck driver? If you had to pick or come up with 4 or 5, in no particular order, what would you say would be a good characteristic of a great truck driver, or somebody that in the recruiting side that we're looking to hire? What's a trait or characteristic that you would look for? What would you say, Kent?
Number one, I feel like we've already leased on the best, and we lease on the best guys out there. But I would say probably one top thing would be an honest guy.
Honest guy, absolutely.
Being where he's supposed to be, when he's supposed to be there, or just, hey, here's my past, here's my future. Let's put this all together and make a good run with it.
Sure. Yeah, I agree. Honesty is a big one. Not only for a truck driver, but just anybody in your day-to-day life. Being honest is always a good trait or characteristic to have. Making sure that you're, you can kind of tie that into safety a little bit. That you're being honest with your logs and your regulations and not cutting corners and doing your pre-trips and post-trips and things like that. So honesty would definitely be a top one for me in my list.
Yeah, and I agree with both of those. I mean, another thing you could look at in honesty is, we take, something happens out there on the road. There's going to be instances that happen, incidents, maybe even an accident. A guy that comes forward and tells us exactly what happened goes a long way with us. I know it goes a long way with safety department. And, you just can't hardly beat a good, honest guy. And that's what we're looking for.
That's right.
Safety. That's like you brought safety up. That's, safety-oriented people. And it is, technology nowadays. You got ELDs that are changing. Laws are changing. You got highways that are changing. There's more traffic out there. You got to be able to adapt. And stay safety-oriented all through that.
Right.
And that's another point I wrote down. You mentioned it right there. Not afraid of change.
Yep.
Because, it's changed
every
tremendously over the last 10 years for sure. And it changes every day.
Yeah.
We never know as office employees what's going to change on us every day, just like them. But we're going to have to tell them something's changed for them. And you just can't be afraid of it anymore. You just kind of got to embrace it and take it on.
Well, so what else? What else would you say? So we've covered honesty, safety oriented. What would you say would be another one? I like to throw in, being a team player. Somebody that gets along with their peers, helps guys out there. I know we've all heard good stories, and we need to share more of those to our guys. But guy has a flat out there, or just like you were just talking about with Jared Everett. Not only here in the office, but out there, a guy blows a heater hose or something, and somebody's there to help him.
It takes all of us. It takes all of our owner operators. It takes all of our customers. It takes all of us here. There's not a solo person here. It's all a team effort here.
Right. Well, and two, take it another step. I mean, how many times sitting out there have you guys heard dispatch, say, hey, I need, we've got this load that needs to get covered, call so-and-so and see, if he wants to work this weekend. Well, you may have a guy that regularly is home every weekend, but you call him and say, hey, man, we need some help. We're shorthanded. Would you mind, doing X, Y, and Z or something like that for me this weekend? And we've got a lot of guys that would step up to the plate there and
I've been in
do
those.
that.
I've been that person that had to make that call. And sometimes you don't want to make it, but a guy that really steps up, you remember that.
Sure, sure.
And that's what it's all about, just helping the team out. And we've done it. Owner operators have done it. And it's, I think, also, when a guy breaks down, I was talking to a guy about this the other day, breaks down and loaded,
Oh yeah.
And nobody wants that call. Hey, can you go help? Take time out of you to drop your trailer, go help
Sure.
pick
Go
up
get
this
this
guy's
delivered.
loaded trailer. But what I told a guy the other day, I said that could be you one day that's broke down on the side of the road, and you're going to want to help.
Sure.
And I think every one of our guys would, every one of our owner operators would do that here.
I agree.
But
I totally agree.
that is that means a lot to these guys out here when someone takes the time to out of their day to help them out.
Sure.
Something else, hadn't really wrote it down, but work ethic, man.
Oh, man,
that's one of the biggest ones I think.
Sure is.
You've got to have the mentality to, come over here. It's going to be work most days. And,
It's facing the day every day. This is what I'm going to do today, and I'm going to do it safely. I'm going to do it as part of a team, and we're going to get it done. Your work ethics is you got to go in it, put those pants on every day.
Yeah, got to wake up with great, have a great attitude goes along with that too.
Sure.
Great
Oh, yeah.
attitude, work ethic, and I think that's two big things that goes into, being a great driver is because everybody out there knows this type of work is different than everything else.
Yeah, it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody. There's work involved in dry bulk, and every day. It ain't the same. It's not the same.
It's hard to paint that picture sometimes too over the phone, to a guy.
Exactly.
You try to do the best you can, but it's still a different animal.
Let's take a quick break and hear from our sponsor, Lube Zone.
This year, Lube Zone has been a proud sponsor of the Oakley Podcast. We have enjoyed telling you about all the discounts, services, and locations Lube Zone offers to keep Oakley trucking owner-operators running smoothly over the road. Stop by during the final quarter of 2021 and you can still receive a $40 discount on your next PM using Shell and Dello oil brands at any of their locations. Plus, until New Year's Eve, save $15 off any 3-axle alignment. Fast is back at LubeZone. Check out lubezone.com and stop by any location to take advantage of their superior service.
Hey, I think another good point is, like I said before, I feel like we've at least owned the best guys that are out there. You just, talk to these guys in the office, but man, a reliable, genuine guy, somebody you can count on, know that they're going to do what they're supposed to do, kind of the top point that all these others fall under.
Right. Sure. Yeah, being reliable, being able to, kind of goes back to that honest guy, being able to trust a guy. Hey, we dispatch you on this load, and there's not a doubt in our mind that it's going to be there whenever it needs to be there because
safely
because he's told us it would, and then if for some reason it's not, which there are obviously times where stuff does not always go as planned, whether it's a breakdown or traffic or something like that, is communicating that.
It's big communication
to back to dispatch or whoever, so that the correct people can be involved and know.
But there is a delay. Yeah, it's a lot better to know that on the front end as on the rear end.
All right, what else, guys? What do you think? How about like health? Somebody that's, that's something I think of when I think about a good characteristic trait of a good truck driver. Obviously you got to be healthy or you can't.
I know it's tough staying healthy. Sitting in that seat all day, it's got to be something that's on your mind. Taking care of your body, taking care of yourself, eating right best you can. I mean, I know it's not the perfect place in the world out. Being on the road all the time to be able to eat healthy, but doing some exercise and something, I know that in this dry bulk, you're getting a little exercise.
That's what I was fixing to say. In our type of line of business, you're actually getting exercise when you're doing your job here. So that's a great point.
Right.
But taking care of yourself, making sure you get your rest, drinking lots of water.
I mean, and you have to. I mean, you have no choice these days. If you don't, you're subject to not even being able to.
Oh, they'll shut you down in a heartbeat.
To get a physical anymore.
Right.
So it's very important you take care of yourself. And
then, kind of following up off of that is, making sure, when your expirations are due, that you're following up with that stuff, whether it's you've got high blood pressure, making sure that you're taking your medications in order to stay healthy, or wearing your sleep apnea machine. There's all kinds of things out there I know that we deal with every week in orientation with guys, but health is a big one too. So
yeah, and another point, it kind of falls under some of these others, but in Oakley's, we want a good truck driver to us is someone that's going to represent Oakley at these customers. Someone that's going to be professional.
Good customer skills.
Good customer service skills. Someone that's going to, basically act like that's their customer.
Well, that goes back to being a team player. We're all in this together. That's exactly right.
Someone that's going to be friendly, positive, enthusiastic. Right. That's three things that we really stress here at Oakley to, dispatch, our owner-operators, and, I think all of them do a very good job of that. But, somebody out there listening, that's, three big things we look at. Someone that wants to be positive, friendly, and enthusiastic here.
Absolutely.
And, and this kind of goes along with it too, but I wrote this down, sometimes you got to be a problem solver. You got to, when you're out there, some stuff might go wrong. You got to
it's probably going to go wrong, yeah.
Yeah, you got to have what can I do here? How can I fix this real quick to get this load empty? Or how can I repair my truck to get down the road?
Right.
You got to be thinking at all times about this. And, I know when something happens to me, all of us, we're sitting there thinking, how can I fix this real quick? These guys got to think like that on.
And you talk to them here, they got buddies. There's a lot of guys here that know a lot of other guys that are here, and they're very helpful. And, hey, who can I pick up and call? I'm here. I've got this problem. I know a guy that comes here a lot. Where can I get this fixed? Where do I need to go to check into this place? Like I said, we got a lot of good guys that can sure help you with any issues, most issues, especially like that.
Uh-huh. Absolutely. And, and another thing, too, to me, is someone that keeps their equipment clean.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Someone that's going to take the time to make sure their truck's looking good, make sure
trailer's
looking good. Someone that does their pre-trip inspections, post-trip inspections, someone that...
Attention to detail, man.
Exactly, and it means a lot to us. It means a lot to to them that do it. I mean, it means a lot, honestly, to the DOT, So, keeping good equipment, looking good, it takes time, but that's part of it.
And that rolls right back into a recruiting side of things. You are a rolling billboard out there, and taking care of the equipment, its tractor, how clean it is, that trailer, and a recruiting card could be worth $5,200 right now, and having clean equipment that you're running down the road, it could play a big factor in that.
Absolutely, yeah. That's what I was just finna say. I mean, we wouldn't be recruiters if we didn't somehow circle back and tie all this back into how can this benefit us in the recruiting side. But we've got a lot of great guys here. Well, they've got a lot of great friends that I'm sure meet a lot of this same stuff that we just talked about. So I know we're always talking and sending messages out on these on your Qualcomm and emails about recruiting cards, but hey, if you've got a buddy that's that's in this definition of a great truck driver, hey, send him to us, because we're always looking for more great guys like we've currently got now, and looking to grow.
And I know times right now are tough, especially a guy getting started. Guys that are here with getting truck parts, getting trucks in general, and right back to recruiting. I know where some trucks are. I know y'all know where they're at also, but I know where there are some trucks. If a guy's looking to get started, we know of some excellent dealerships that point you in the right direction that way.
We can definitely help you in that. If you're out there looking, definitely give us a call. We'll help you any way we can.
You bet.
There's no doubt.
All right. Well, good stuff, guys. That's all I have. Y'all got anything else you can think of? I know there's a lot of stuff out there, but we just kind of hit on a few there that we feel like are real important. But
yeah, and I just want to say, I know we say it quite a bit, but we can't never say it enough. Sure do appreciate the guys we do have.
Absolutely.
Guys that, our owner operators, guys and girls, they all do a fantastic job for us. And like Corey said, starting off, we're talking about you today because you're at Oakley. So we thought all these qualities, by talking to you, we thought you had them. So
Right.
That's why you're here.
That's right.
So keep up the good work, and
Thank you for all that you do.
exactly.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for this episode of the Oakley Podcast, Trucking, Business, and Family. Make sure to let us know what you think about it, and be safe out there, and we will see you next week.